What is correct, and everyone? This is Renazli coming back at you with some Honkai Star Rail, and today we are going to keep talking about lightning as an element for them in the meta. But before that, do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let us get right into it. So, firstly, we'll be talking about Acheron because we're going in alphabetical order for this, so Acheron's first. I don't have Acheron, obviously, but from what I've been hearing from basically everybody and their mom, Acheron needs a lot of investment to work at this day and age, which, that does suck because I do want to invest in her. But it doesn't sound like it's worth it because the way everyone's talking, it's like you need E2 at this point, plus her cone, and you know what? That's what? 4 costs that you could be putting elsewhere. So I don't really think I want to worry about that right now. In the future, if I could see it happening, I just don't think that's right now. It would have to be a very, very dead amount of patches for me to be able to save up enough to even get her to that point, to be honest. Plus, we don't even have, we don't have Cypher, we don't have Jojo. Kind of iffy. I'm sure we could probably work her out with Silverwolf and Pella, but iffy. But I don't think she's in the best spot. I think you can make her work in most endgame modes, though. I just don't. I've been hearing bad things about Anomaly Arbitration, like how you need her to be at E6, and even then it's not enough because she's struggling. So I don't like the sound of that. Maybe people are just bad and that's what it is, and she's actually better than that, but from everything I've been hearing, it sounds like that she's not in the best spot right now. Aglaya's next. Aglaya is... besides Acheron, she's probably the best lightning character in the game right now, DPS-wise, so by default, she kind of has to be the best. I hear that she kind of wants to be at E1, though, with her cone. But, ultimately, all these characters want to be at least E1 or E2. Do they need to be? Is the question. I don't think Aglaya is quite in that spot, but it just makes ease of use for her better for E1. I do think she's probably in the best spot besides that, though, but it makes sense. She's a version 3 character. None of the other lightning characters are from version 3, so she by default has to be the best, assuming that character power is as it should be. She should be the best, and she is. So she's in a pretty good spot. Probably the best. I want to get her next patch, but, we have the problem of me wanting to have the entire Firefly team, and unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have the pulls by the end of Phase 3 for her. We'll see, though. Maybe we get really, really, really lucky, and we get her up and going, because, honestly, I do want to get all the Chrysos airs, especially for Cyrene. Because how many of them are we missing, actually, at this point? We're missing Maide, so that's 1. We're missing Cypher, that's 2. Elias 3. Iceland's 4. Serija 5. Evernight 6. So we're missing about half the Chrysos airs right now. Considering that I started in the 0.4, I think us being halfway there, including Cyrene herself, is a good spot to be in. Next, we have the very, very unfortunate character that is Arlen. Tell me why he wants to be constantly at low health. Constantly. And it's like, if he's not at low health, he's not really going to be doing enough damage. He might be the worst character in this game because he wants to be at low health, and you can't... You gotta keep him at low health for him to be at his best, and that's not really a good thing because... He has to be, I believe it said, below 50% on one of his traces, right? Yeah. Not really that good. Yeah. He's just an unfortunate character. He needs a lot. I don't know if they're gonna put enough into him to fix him if they ever buff him, but unfortunate for him. I don't really care about this guy, though. He's fine. He's whatever to me. If you like him, good for you. Me personally, I'm my kind of guy. But it is really unfortunate about his kit. He should have been treated better or made better, but he just wasn't. Okay, next would be Bailu. I mean, as a free-to-play healer, I mean, you could do worse than Bailu. Let's be honest. You could do Natasha. That's eee. Yeah, Natasha. Yikes. Yikes. I mean, in terms of abundance, she's not exactly the best here. She's probably the worst 5-star healer out of the ones that are here, but with Anomaly Arbitration requiring 3 teams, there is reason for her to be used. If you have a lot of sustains, okay, maybe not, but this assumes that you have 3 sustains that are better than her, and that's, I mean, at least for an account like ours, which is new, that's a lot to ask, because we only have Dan Hong, we have Gallagher, and then we have Hyacinth. So yes, that does mean that Bailu loses her spot. However, if you need 3 people that restore health as opposed to preservation like Dan Hong, then yeah, she has a slot again. But I mean, launch character, you know, she's kind of this game's what's the Genshin character? Chi-Chi. She's kind of like this game's Chi-Chi. She has that, where is it? Where is it in her kit, actually? It's the revive. Yeah, the killing blow right here. Not knocked down, then they heal them. She revives them. Helpful, but you know who just immunes that at all? Like, you know who just immunes bringing Bailu for that specific reason? Casteris, because of her world passive. Kind of funny. Literally just immunes the reason to bring her. It's, you know, it's kind of funny. She's not even a healer, and she just completely immunes that part of Bailu's kit, because you have her and it's like, okay, why would I ever bring her for that part ever again now that I have Casteris? I believe you cannot proc Casteris and Bailu. Maybe you can. I've never tried it, but it's like, why would you do that if you already have a free revive from Casteris? It doesn't really seem like it's a good idea. Let's see, does it say? Oh, maybe it's part of her. Is it part of her technique? I'm trying to figure out where this is. Doesn't actually say where it is in her kit, but where is this labeled in her kit then? Trying to find it. I don't know where it is. It's actually not saying. Where is this in her kit? I would love to find it so I can show it, but I mean, you guys should know by now if you're familiar with the... Oh, right here in her talent. After obtaining castration when she's in the current team, in battle, when a character receives a killing blow, all ally characters that received a killing blow in this action clear Moon or enter Moon Cocoon. Characters in Moon Cocoon temporary delay becoming downed and can take actions normally after the action and before the start of the next turn. If their HP increases or they gain a shield, it's removed. Otherwise, they will be downed. So it's like they need to get healed, but it's like it's a get out of jail free card that you can just use. Like if you want to play really aggressive for like a 0 cycle clear and like you need to get dropped for that, but you can still get the health back, that's something you can do. I mean, you know, it's not the exact same thing as Bailu. Bailu just gets the character back up with no strings attached, but like, I mean, it's a world passive. You don't really need, or global passive rather, that's what people call it. You don't really need to use Bailu for that reason when you can just have Casteris on your account and she just does that by default. Anywho, that's enough about Bailu. Now we're going to be talking about Jingyuan. You know, it's kind of unfortunate, like... He's a cool guy, but I don't like, honestly, the way it sounds like to me is if you don't have Sunday and you're not using him with Sunday, he's not consistent, and that's not a good thing. Because I'm sure you guys know by now, my Sunday is tied to my Saber. Until we have a point where we have another summon action advancing character, Sunday's not going to be leaving Artoria's team anytime soon, so that kind of just means that we're not going to be able to use Jingyuan. which, you know, is a bit unfortunate for him. But I mean, he's a cool character, but again, he didn't really, I didn't connect with him that much, but he's cool. Shout out to my goat Sayu, right? But in the meta, I mean, if you don't have Sunday, kind of just sounds like he's just not worth it anymore. Now we go to Kafka, one of my favorites, of course. I mean, she got out really well with this buff. In what, 3.4? Did she get the best buffs overall? She might have, right? The Silverwolf got good buffs, so did Blade. I think Kafka straight up got out the best because she's now the core of the dot team. If you don't have Kafka, your dot team is just not going to be as efficient as it should be, or as it wants to be. And, you know, that kind of means a lot, to be honest. She's the most... this is why I'm gonna make this argument. She's the most irreplaceable in her team. You can find an excuse to kick off Blade as a sub DPS or whatever. You can find an excuse to not run Jingliu. You can find an excuse to not run Silverwolf if you have another debuffer or another buffer. But you can't make that case for Kafka in her best team. She needs to be there for the team to be optimal. So that matters. Yes, she's not exactly a DPS, she's a sub DPS, but the fact that she's so irreplaceable, I think we need to count her in that count that we're going to be doing later for all the relevant characters. I mean, you know, not too much to say about her besides that, but like, it's Kafka. Are we mad that she's going to be eternally useful on the dot team? Me personally, no. I'm probably going to be E6ing her at some point just because she's one of my favorite characters in this game, right? It's really a shame that we didn't get Heislands because I would have been building that team right now, but we don't have her available because we lost her 50-50. But, you know, it's fine. We'll get there eventually. Dot's probably going to be one of the teams I invest in the most anyway, so we'll see how that works out. Next, we are going to be talking about Mose. I believe he's on Hunt, right? Yeah. He is a good replacement for Fei Xiao's free-to-play options, so, you know, if you're gonna run Fei Xiao, he's a good option. Yet again, free-to-play options for premium teams are always going to be welcome, so the fact that you can use Mose is going to be a good boon for you. Is he optimal? Probably not, but again, 4 stars are always going to be a welcome addition to premium teams. So, you know, there's that. Then we got Serval. Similar situation to Little Herda, honestly. If you want to run her as a battery for Madame Herda, you can do so. Is she going to be optimal? Again, probably not. But again, if you're rocking her as a free-to-play option for Madame Herda, you can use her and she'll do you well. Mainly if you're pure fiction, of course, because Herda is mainly AoE based, but even if it's blast based, I think you can find an excuse to use Serval if it's lightning weak. So similar situation to Little Herda, but I mean, Madame Herda wants at least one erudition ally, so Serval meets that condition and she'll be treating you well enough. I think Little Herda is technically a little better than her because they can both toughness break on Madame Herda's teams as well, because I mean, obviously, if they're ice weak, Little Herda's gonna get, you know, some hits off for the toughness breaking that Serval can't because, you know, she's lightning. But she's an option, and we like options. And the last one we're actually gonna be talking about is Tingyun. I mean, 4-star support, she's probably the best 4-star support in this game as a whole, probably. I think so, right? Yeah, at least for Harmony, she shit up the best. She's got the unique stuff going on with her energy regeneration as well, so that does help her out a lot. Again, free-to-play option. We're not going to be mad about that. You can use it with Fine On as well, which, you know, maybe it's not optimal with Fine On, but the way I think we're going to be speccing into Fine On for our account, he's going to be getting the... not the worst well, I guess technically they'll be worse. They're not going to be as optimal options because I don't want to dedicate Sunday to him when we can dedicate Sunday to Artoria over here, / you know, Saber. So Tingyun's a really good option with Finon. I mean, you can use... She's a good slot in for any support for your main carry, you know? She'll do you well. The fact that you can even use her in this manner just makes her really useful. I think there's other options you can use her, but the main one I hear talked about is her and Finon being put together. Because I believe he gets a core flame when you use the energy on him. Where is it? I think it's this one. Where is it? It must be his talent. Where is it? Should have been here. Oh. Where is it? There's something with the it was something in his kit about getting energy and getting... See what? I thought it was this, but that's not what it is. What is this? That's technique. Normally I'm better at finding these quickly, but it doesn't... Oh, right here. When receiving an energy regen effect from a teammate's ability gains a core flame. So you can use like Tingyun's ult to get fine on some... like a core flame, so that's useful. So that's probably why his mainly talked about, because you can use him... Yeah, so you can use Sunday ult to get him even more stuff, you know. So Tingyun and Sunday seems like a good free-to-play option for him. We're not going to be giving him Sunday though, sadly. Unless Artoria really is that unusable, because we have her E2 S2, so unless we have a situation where I don't know, it's just better, then, you know, we'll see. Anyway, that's enough about Tingyun. I kind of figured I'd talk about her in this way because she's a support, so seeing who she's good for, that was better as opposed to just talking about what she herself adds, because, you know, she's a free-to-play option. I mean, she's best for attack scalers, makes sense, right? It's your character, more energy, so it'll be helpful as a free-to-play option. But that is covering all of the lightning characters. As far as, I guess I'll say meta relevant. Meta relevant, I don't think I'm going to be counting Acheron, sadly. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm not going to be putting her in this count because of how I hear she's struggling. That leaves Aglaya for 1. If you want to count Jingyuin for Sunday, okay, you can say that. I'm not going to count him though, so I'm not going to count Jingyuin or Acheron here. But for Aglaya, we're going to count her, and then we're going to count Kafka, so that's 2. But if you want to count all 4 of them, go for it, but I'm going to only count the 2 of them. I mean, I guess Kafka's not a main DPS, but like, you know, she's irreplaceable on her best teams, and I kind of feel like we have to talk about that we have to count that. So that leaves us at 2 for the lightning for meta relevant characters. I mean, still not as good as Ice, but I don't know if there's another character that we're gonna... I don't think there's another element that's gonna match up with Ice, to be honest. We'll see as we go through, but I don't think like meta relevant DPSs that we're going to see that. Again, I'm kind of doing a cop out with Kafka, but like, you know, she's irreplaceable. That I think we have to talk about that, because I mean, even then, right? Even if you don't count her and you include Jingyuin, that's still 2, right? So I don't know. I mean, the only one I can see probably overtaking or tying with Ice might be Quantum. Besides that, I'm not really too certain, no. I mean, Lightning got out okay. I mean, also Lightning only had 1 3-point whatever character. She's only version 3 character that is Lightning, so that is a bit of a shame. So, you know, it's kind of 2-point whatever and before that we have for Lightning characters, so, you know, a little bit unfortunate there, but maybe for version 4 upwards we'll get some more Lightning characters, we'll see. Anywho, you guys enjoyed, and we will be back with some more Star Raw pretty soon. Hope you guys will please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Laters.